security reasons, social security. Here we go then, right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Potters Resort. Welcome to the Just Retirement 2018 World Indoor Championship. Would you please welcome onto the ring, all the way from Hong Kong, bronze medal Asian Pacific winner, it's C.Y. Wong. And C.Y.'s opponent, ladies and gentlemen, ranked number 12 in the world, got the Match of the Year award here last Sunday. Please welcome from England, it is Mark Dawes. Head of the comedy team of Nikki Brett and Janice Gower.
Thank you very much, Johnny Laff, and welcome all to the Just World Indoor Bowls Championships 2018, kindly hosted by Potters Resort, and another game in the open singles event. And I'm delighted to be joined in commentary by the world number 2, Nick Brett. Welcome to commentary, Nick.
Thanks very much. Looking forward to this.
It could be an interesting game. Of course, a lot of us know Mark Dawes and know what he can produce, but C.Y. Wong has been really impressing people here. He came through a real tough qualifying group, had to play in a playoffs to reach this stage. Certainly impressed out there, Nick.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see his last qualifying game, and he played some good stuff, to be fair. So yeah, he's going pretty good. It'll be a good test for him tonight against Mark.
Right, just a couple of nervous openers. We tend to find qualifiers just like to settle the first two ends, and that's when the seeds can take the advantage. But C.Y. did play his playoff game against Moti Polak, the Israeli, on the portable rink, so he has had that little bit of experience out there with a few in the crowd. Of course, yeah, Mark Dawes has got through to the pairs final. I wonder who he faces there, Nick.
I've no idea.
Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney play Nick Brett and Greg Harlow next Monday in the first featured final.
C.Y. settled quite nicely with the second one.
Yes, Mark will be wanting to be on his mettle early. He's not had the best of runs in the singles at the World Championships.
One rate.
I'd say that's a fairly good reply.
Very good reply. Yes, Mark Dawes faced Charlie Bence last year and came out on the losing side of that game. So not had the best of starts in World Championships, hoping to make amends here.
I'm saying nothing bad about Charlie.
One rate.
He played fantastic when he played me, so.
And a very big character in the game is Charlie. I know that was another one of the games that was a possible match of the year. Certainly thrilled the spectators here. Nice delivery C.Y. Wong's got, very textbook delivery.
Yeah, he says he gets them away quite nice.
Just overreached that. Chance for Mark.
Yeah, he's got a nice shoulder to get into. He'll be looking to slot this one in.
I think this isn't making the trip, Nick.
No, he'll be disappointed not to get that one in, but still early doors.
Very good. Early doors for Mark Dawes. Well, we play 2 sets of 9 ends and if necessary a 3-end tiebreak. We've had a few tie breaks over the last few days, but Mark's set this off with a nice 1 count at the first end.
Chat length 26.5 metres.
Yeah, clearly Mark will be looking to get off to a, steady start to keep the pressure on CY as long as possible.
And CY's sort of walk into a few different rules here. The playoffs were just 2 sets of 7 ends, no tie break because it was a round robin. Here he's got 2 sets of 9 ends and he's got to play under the shot clock. He's not a slow player, Nick, but sometimes you just got to keep your eye on that if you're a newbie to the shot clock rules.
Yeah, it's certainly when the heads get a little, when you want to go and have a look, and if it looks a bit tricky or don't know what shot you want to play until you actually see it, that's when your 30 seconds is more of a problem. Because he looks a fairly quick on delivery. I think he was only getting down to about 28, 27 seconds, so I don't think 30 seconds as a rule is going to bother him.
A good ball from Mark Dawes there. CY's an interior designer from Indoor Bowls Club is Kragan Gower Cricket Club. I believe that's a really amazing setup in Hong Kong. I know I was talking to a couple of the Australians that had been out to the club, and it's got all sorts of leisure facilities there. Real impressive clubs out there. Not been out myself, but they do say that the facilities are second to none. Do a lot of training, mental and physical training for the players.
Well, he'll be all right here, mental training with us lot.
That might be a different sort of mental training, Nick. And I'm sure Mark Dawes' home club of Blackpool Newton Hall will be listening in, and his 2 sons, Thomas and Freddie, will be watching Dad on the streaming. Mark very quick down there. Okay, want to have a look at the head, but it's still only on 22 seconds when he's got back to the mat.
He does a bit of running, so I think you'll be all right getting up and down the green.
Just looking for the draw, get another in the area, take any danger away.
It's looking pretty good.
Just made the trip.
2 red.
This will be where the first shot clock comes into play for him, whether he's...
Yeah, watching this now, we're down to 13 seconds. He has got a quick delivery on the mat, but how quick?
Might be running this, I think. Right.
I don't think he's gone with enough conviction with this if it's a runner. Needed to be a little bit firmer with that one.
Yeah, I think he was in 2 minds, and his shot clock got
2
down
shots, Mark
to
Dawes.
single figures, and it maybe rushed him because he wasn't quite set on the mat when
Set
it was
score
like down to
3-0 after 2 ends.
5 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's he got down as far as 2 seconds before he's released it. I think Stuart Anderson's the master of the shot clock. I've seen him go down to 1 shot, 1 second frequently.
Chat length 26.5 metres.
I'll get nervous when I get down to 15, alone 1 second.
Now, I'm sure it doesn't take you 15 seconds to deliver a bowl, Nick. good track here. Got to be perfect weight. It will make it all the way back to centre if it is. Again, the overseas qualifiers, there's a pool of bowls here for them to choose from. If you're top of the draw, you're playing red with red bowls. If you're bottom of the draw, you play green bowls. A lot of them don't really like to bring their own bowls from overseas for a number of reasons, Nick. Often their models overseas don't suit the rinks here.
Yeah, that's true. You know, certainly that, depending on where, you know, straighter running bowls, bendier running bowls, you know, won't suit this carpet, one or the other. So, and it's cost to
One
get
race.
them over here, I would say.
Yeah, so we do carry a pool of bowls of all the different manufacturers for overseas and home players to use if they want to. Great bowl from Mark there.
Yeah, Mark's finding the range really good now.
2 red.
Well, interesting line here. Very
He
close.
certainly chose a difficult shot and played it fantastic.
Well played, CY.
Might be a touch unlucky there.
1 green.
No, no.
Got shot.
He's certainly not been shy to try a different shot. He's not just come and, oh, I'm just going to draw, just going to draw.
No, he seems to have decent shot selection. He's got to take into account the nuances of the portable rink as well.
1 red.
Now, he's having a look, Nick. I'm just wondering if he's thinking about playing down the backhand again to his bowl.
He certainly looks that way. I don't know whether he's realised about time out. Oh, he has.
Time out call.
Yeah, he's.
CY has 4 timeouts remaining.
Now you've taken your time out, you might as well use the time. This looks underline.
One shot, Mark Dawes.
Not an easy shot.
Set score 4-0 after 3 ends.
And Mark's certainly set into a good routine here. He's played a number of games on the portable out there in the pairs to get himself to the final next
Length
week.
26
So
metres.
played a few bowls out there, so quite comfortable. Has to zoom home after this game to play a couple of nationals before he comes back down on Sunday.
Yeah, he's not the only one. Some national area dates finishing on this Sunday is not ideal for people in these events, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was very, very fortunate, Nick, before I came away, and I'm sure a few of the ladies involved will be listening in, but everybody was very supportive, and we managed to play all my nationals that need to be played before the end of January, before I came away, and I think it's the first time that's ever happened for me, so I know how hard work it is for Mark and yourself going in all these nationals.
Yeah, well, that's where we started, you know. National competitions is where your bread and butter, if you like, where you gain what points it was back then, and trials and stuff like that if you want to play for your country. That's where you're judged.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to play with teammates in national events. Singles is always the thing you tend to see as the premier events on the TV. But we do play in a lot of team events over here. Good adjustment there from Mark.
3 red.
Nothing too silly from CY here. He just really needs to get a ball in the head. Doesn't want to drop a 3 or a 4 now.
Good pace, he won't be far away with this one.
Can it sneak in for second?
1 red.
Sure Mark will add another, but it's then whether he gives CY a shot to run at it. I'm not sure he's got the spot either way.
Looks like he might have the spot to the left-hand side of the viewer's screens. I'm not sure on the right-hand side one. Depends on what sort of a target Mark makes here. There's a chance there.
2 red.
Not a big target though, Nick.
No. It's difficult to call what he's going to play. He's still got enough room to draw the shot, but he's also the runner on. Again, he's not far away.
Oh, he's going to be just unlucky. Great effort.
2 shots, Mark Dawes.
You feel
Set score
from
6-0
CY's
after 4
point of
ends.
view, he needs to be counting this next end. Just get something on the card. Doesn't want Mark to totally dominate the first set.
Yeah, or just settle yourself in for the second set, because Mark's got a decent start now. Yeah, but you are right. But to get back into this set,
Jack length,
you'd
27
think you'd need
metres.
to score the next couple of ends.
Good opener from Mark.
Mark's certainly not making it easy for him.
No, not at all. Mark's playing with Henselite Tigers out there, and CY's playing with Drake's Pride Professionals. For those of you that like to know what balls the players are playing with. He's gone a reaching draw here, Nick, but just under the line.
Yeah, not just giving yourself a chance on those lines. Very difficult. You've got to get it on the right track. Just trying to play under and hold it in. It's kind of punishing, really.
A puzzlement look from Mark Dawes there, definitely. Wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to facial expressions on a rink. The winner of this game will face David Gawley, who came through a battle this afternoon. And that game will be next Tuesday. So a week break. And tomorrow we've got Mark Royal versus Scott Walker at 10 o'clock. At 2 o'clock we've got Alex Marshall MB versus Andrew Kelly, Nick Brett versus George Lotter, and tomorrow evening at 7:30 Mervyn King versus Ian McIntosh. Know anything about your opponent tomorrow, George Lotter, Nick?
I don't. I've seen him around and spoke to him, but I don't know anything other than that, to be honest.
Interesting. Well, CY, big drive.
2 red.
Again, it is hard work for the seeds sometimes when you're facing the qualifiers and you're not sure of who they are. You don't really know what you're facing. You've sort of just to get your head down and play your game, really.
Yeah, you can't really do anything but that, to be honest. What shot selections they're going to make, you're not going to know beforehand, like we do the people we see tournament in, tournament out. So yeah, it's as difficult for us. What, would you cover one? Jack lengths, draw in another. Leave them this shot, that shot. It's really
3 red.
really difficult to program that in, but all you can do is play as well as you can.
Well, now, he's 3 down here. The set is definitely drifting away from him. We know he's got a big drive, but he doesn't have either E-spot.
Yeah, I don't know whether he can get all 3 bowls. A bit difficult. Gone for a little less weight, but will it?
In the area.
No, he's got the bowl off as well, which is great result, but a good strike.
On the card.
Nearly 3.
Yeah, Mark's declaring 3.
3 shots. CY white.
He's got a great result, really, getting the bowl as well.
Yeah, Mark will be
Set
disappointed.
score
He
6-3 after 5
didn't
ends.
do a lot wrong. He had the spot until the CY follow, and he takes it away. He certainly wouldn't have tried to put another one on the cover in the spot. But fair play, played a good shot, got maximum result.
Yeah, got him on the card, which is what we said he needed to do at that end to give himself a chance in this set.
Definitely, now he needs to find a good first one.
Jack length 27 metres.
He's stuck with a jack length similar to that Mark's been selecting, so... But again, like you were saying, Nick, you often have to play to what is your comfort zone.
Yeah, I haven't seen him practice, or I haven't practiced with him, so I don't know what lengths he's been practicing. But for me, jack casting, I just generally throw it all over the show, to be honest.
Does skim across the surface out there.
Yeah,
the
it generally
jack.
goes a bit longer than I would like it, but I can't stop it anymore. These big shoulders I've got.
I remember having a practice session with Greg out there before you played in your pairs, and I did say to him, are you leading? And he said yes, and Nick will just have to cope with where the jack goes. And basically that was his tactic, and I think it worked.
Yeah, he was fantastic in both games, to be fair. He led really good. Good
It's
job
not too shabby when you've got the world #1 leading for you, is it?
No, he went good. He went good. It was a good job he did, because I wasn't overly spectacular, other than a couple of bowls here and there.
Well, a bit of a loose opening. 2 bowls at this end for CY. It gives Mark a chance of adjusting with this bowl, putting the pressure back on. And here we go.
Yeah, it's one of the first 2. If you consistently don't find those, your opponent generally does find one of them.
Well, this is a very tight line.
1 red.
You can see the look of disappointment in CY's face there. Mark stalking up the rink after this bowl. Looks close again.
Two red.
You might see another runner here, Janice, I think.
He's very quick to make his decision.
No, he's gone for the...
Is he going to get wrecked on his own bowl?
Yeah, and his weight didn't look bad, to be fair.
Oh, Mark, big opportunity for a 3 here. Virtually seal off this first set.
It will certainly give him a pretty good cushion.
4 shots, Mark Dawes.
Just a scribble of a change
Set
on my
score 10-3
scorecard
after
then.
6 ends.
It's hard to tell sometimes from our camera angles whether that was a 3 or a 4, but a 4. 10-3 now after 6 ends in the opening set. Mark Dawes.
Yeah, to be fair, Mark's been worth his lead.
Yeah, CY came up with a
Check back for
wonder bowl
26
to get
meters.
the 3 shots he counted. So we know he's got all the shots in his armoury. I think it's just a question of trying to break Mark Dawes' consistency, which is a statement and a half.
Not easy. Mark's very tidy front 2 bowls.
I've said a number of times when we've been commentating on his pairs games, he skips a lot at club level and at county level, but his actual preferred position is to lead. So he always banks himself for those 2 lead bowls to be somewhere close.
Yeah, I think his preferred shot's the draw because he plays it so well.
Yep. Must count end here for CY if he's going to produce a miracle in this first set. But as you mentioned before, Nick, it's also a question of, do you think to yourself, do I just try and get my drawing weight ready for the second set?
Yeah, he seems to be just nipping the line. I mean, to be fair, that one's
Too
maybe
red.
deliberate because he was probably playing over the pace to it, but
Yeah.
last couple of ends, just been nipping the line.
It's a good receiving bowl. There's not a lot of danger for Mark here, but I think he will go. Yeah, he's gone for the cover bowl. Doesn't need to do anything too fancy.
Not a bad cover for the spot either,
Yeah, it gets the
considering you can't
spot.
see it from the other end.
Yeah, you can ask the marker to indicate where the spot is. But, great ball from Mark there. Now CY. Better track. Little bit of fortune.
He was always in the area, to be fair, but yeah, a little bit
On
of a
green.
good result, but
Again, Mark won't be too worried about that. He holds a 7-shot lead, 3 ends to play. You don't like to say somebody can afford to drop a 1, but he can afford to drop a 1.
yeah, he's in a good position. He's in a good position, no doubt about that. Before he started, if you'd asked him if he'd be happy with this position, he'd have said thanks very much.
Yes, he'd have taken it. Trying, just under the line. Now CY,
On green.
can we draw for 2?
He won't need to change much from his last, to be fair. Probably lose a couple of feet, a yard of pace.
He's still got his own bowl on the wing as well. He can use that. Something similar, CY.
Coming the other way. Wouldn't like to get too wide and get the edge of marks.
He's very close to Mark's bowl. Just overplayed it.
1 shot, CY Wong.
Set score 10-4
Got
after 7
a
ends.
few people coming into the crowd now. The spectators here love the fact that at Potter's Resort they can mingle with the players. Probably all had a chance to have a chat with CY and Mark Dawes as they've been wandering around the venue. And of course, it's a huge venue. It's not just what you see on TV here. It's also
Track
another
length 28 metres.
bowls arena with 6 rinks. There's Segway, there's a golf course, there's a swimming pool. Well, I could go on all night, Nick. Great facilities here at Potter's.
Oh yeah, fantastic. That's it. And don't forget the restaurant.
how could I forget the restaurant? I've had a 3-course meal tonight. I've been very greedy.
Yeah, so did I.
Just a loose opener there. Mark will probably make the most of this opportunity. Not bad. Not bad at all. When you're 6 ahead with 2 ends to play, it's all about making sure that your opponent can't score big counts.
Yeah, and a good first one is first on the list.
Yeah, CY's in the area with this. Can he get a little help off that short bowl?
2 inches past.
Another good bowl from Mark. Another one in the area.
2 red.
Even with my poor mathematics skills, I reckon that CY needs to score at least 2 shots to take us into the final end of this first set.
Yeah, he sure does. And then a 4 would still be a big ask.
Yeah, he's in the area here. Oh, how many times have we seen that this week? Holes for bowls. And at an
Yeah.
angle like that, it's quite a
Yeah,
surprise.
2 red.
He wasn't far away, and he's finished in a decent spot. I would imagine Mark will be trying to get somewhere near the last.
And CY coming to have a look at this, see if there's any angles to remove the doors bowls.
Yeah, Mark not quite got into it there.
There's a CY bowl just going through that gap. He was unlucky not to get a piece of either the jack or the red bowl.
Yeah, if he'd have stopped on the red bowl, that would have created a nice situation for him. But maximum now is probably scoring a 2.
Well, needs to be counting 2 when this bowl comes to rest.
Has he got enough weight for that line?
Two shots and first set, Mark Dawes.
Well, we saw some glimpses from CY there of what he can produce. He just needs to tie that all together in this second set.
Yeah, it's all about doing it end after end, and Mark certainly dominated, as the score would suggest. But CY he definitely can. He just needs to find one of the first 2 more often, and you never know.
Yeah, well, it's a sets game, so Mark's got the first set in the bag, so to speak. So he's guaranteed the very worst case scenario, a tie break. CY can string a few ends together in the second set and pick up the second set. We're going to a tie break, and I'm sure all those that are tuning in Hong Kong are desperately wanting that to happen for their qualifier.
Jack length 26 metres.
Another good start.
I know CY's travelled all the way from Hong Kong on his own to these championships, Nick. It's interesting if you think about doing that in reverse. I know Mark Dawes has got his mum's here with him. His brother normally travels with him, but he's on distant shores for a year at the moment. But I'm sure he's tuning in.
I'm sure he's looking, yeah.
Always good to have that bit of support, whether they're with you here rinkside or at home cheering you on. slight wobble. He's got such a clean delivery when you see him stood on the mat. Very Jonathan Ross-esque, or possibly even David
3 red.
Holt type delivery.
Yeah,
Yep.
they do come out with a little bit of a wobble, but you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't. Tried to have a look to see how he does that, but because he seems to have a smooth delivery,
Yeah.
but they do come out with a wobble.
Talked about deliveries many times, and it's all about consistency. Some of the best players over the years have had a bump or a wobble. Remember Ian Bond used to thump all his bowls out, but gosh, was he consistent. Still plays internationally. We don't see him on the PBA circuit now. I spoke to him in Bristol back in September, and he was talking about having a go again next year.
Oh, is he really? Yeah, Bond is playing good. Still plays well for England every time I've seen him the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yes, I had the pleasure of playing with him in a mixed triples game against Wales when we played the test match, and thoroughly enjoyed that. I've known Bondy for years. To get the opportunity to play with him was brilliant, and he can still come up with the really big bowls just when you need them. But he thumps every single one out.
It's all about being consistent.
It's a consistent bump.
Well, we might see the forehand runner here, I
3
think.
red.
Kind of looking down that sort of area, Nick. Anything in that vicinity
Yep, that would be
clears
about
some
right.
bowls away.
He's gone in between. Went more delicate than.
3 shots, mark doors.
I don't know how many conversations he's had with any of the other players, but they would have all told him that's the hardest shot in the book.
Yes, I don't know whether he's... I've spoken a couple of times to him. His English seemed pretty good. Don't know whether... The thing is, as an overseas player, some of the Australians, they're very flamboyant and they'll go and talk to anybody, as we know from 1 or 2 that were here this week. If Tristan Healy
Jack left, 26
listening in,
inches.
I'm sure Trenton was well into talking to and chatting to people.
Yeah, I did see a little bit on Twitter. I think when I played a bowl, I think he was in commentary at the time, I think.
Yes, some of the Australians do like to talk a little bit, Nick. But CY is quite a quiet chap. Going big here.
He's not messing about now. This could be a no-scoring end if he's going to do that every bowl.
It's certainly quietened the crowd down. Bit of frustration perhaps as well, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, perfect end last time for that shot, and he chose the harder one, and he's probably regretted that now. But he doesn't look frustrated. Seems fairly calm, to be honest.
Very calm. That's when Trenton was telling us about the sort of psychology side in Hong Kong, and that they're trained not to be bothered by anything and to stay relaxed. You see in the outdoor game, a lot of the Malaysians very, very good. Again, their philosophy is based on training and mental psychology as well.
I might need extra sessions there.
We'll have to find out if that's facilities available at Potter's Resort. This looks wide. There's that wobble again.
It might help him if he can just bend a bit now. He's played a full out drive and 2 decent paces on the draw.
On green.
Well, there's Mark Dawes' mum, big supporter of her son. She's probably seen herself on the big screen there.
Absolutely.
Now, Mark, need a correction on the line here. Weight's been good. Looks good to me.
Yeah, about position A, I would say, where
Might-
he was going for.
Might be tempted to go at this. Last bowl. Could flick the bowl away. Piece of the jack. Even out to the respot. Just thinking as he played it so well with his first bowl, Nick.
Yeah, it just depends if he's a bowl wide. He could get both of his own outside edge of the inside one. But
Timeout called.
just over the pace, as we keep saying, is the hardest shot. So
Yeah.
that's his alternative.
Tell by the way he stands on the mat, he stands very, very upright if he's going to drive. Playing that timer.
He's not too bad. Might
In
have a
the
bit of the
area.
jack as well.
I think he's been unlucky there. The respot will be one red.
On bowl, CY Wong. Oh, beg your pardon. One shot, Mark Dawes.
A little bit of confusion out there on the rink. I think we saw that as one shot to Mark Dawes.
CY
though.
has 3
Yeah.
timeouts remaining.
Set score 4-0 after 2 ends.
Marking team out there, an umpiring team. Tony Hatch actually marking on the rink.
26 metres.
Umpire Dan Blewett, and shot clock operator at the moment is the head of the World Bowls Tour umpires. Does all the scheduling and organising for the umpires. Here is Alan Thornhill. And literally just arrived, Mike Davis. He'll step onto the rink tomorrow.
I just thought they were just miraculously turned up.
Yeah, they just appear. Mike Davis has got the huge honour this year of marking the Open Singles final. So I know, speaking to him earlier, he's really looking forward to that. One of the long-serving members of the team, Mike. You won't mind me saying that. And the other member of the team arrives on Friday, Francis Fletcher, who's got an even harder task because he's got a mark for me on the Saturday.
Oh, that's why he's coming late, is he? He's too nervous.
Yeah, he needs to build up to it, Nick. Oh, what a great effort.
2 red. Your bowls? Yes.
Tough situation now for CY because Mark's starting to build these heads up really solidly against him, and he's just trying to play those reaching shots, and you can lose your weight with those. And
And they're a low percentage
yeah,
result, really.
like you say, has he spoken to many people that have played the rink? That's the interesting part.
I would suggest that's a big part of his game back home, because he looks like he gets them away well, you know, and on a normal surface, probably be perfectly good shots to play.
Yeah, it's a good track here. Great effort
red.
again.
Oh, he's not far away, literally. It's just that Mark's, he's in really close early, and it's forcing CY to almost chase, I would say.
Don't forget, if you can't stay with us, if you've got to go off and play a national or anything tonight, you'll pick up all the news and results on worldbowlstour.tv, which is the website, or join us on Twitter at WBT_TV.
What are you going to call here, Janice? What are you going for?
Well, you see, I think the forehand, a runner to try and split the two bowls. If he gets a piece of the jack, he stays with it.
I tend to agree.
Timeout
Seems
call.
to be shaping up that way as well.
I'm glad we're both in agreement there.
Even more so, he agreed with us.
Yeah. I think he played the right shot there. He just off target.
2 shots, Mark Dawes. CY has 2 timeouts remaining.
Set score 6-0 after 3 ends.
6-0 after 3 ends. Again, Mark Dawes dominating this second set. A set that CY has got to win to take us into a tie break. It's going away from the Hong Kong qualifier here.
Jack length 26 metres.
Yeah, to be fair to CY, Mark's played great first bowl, especially if it, second bowl coming in pretty decent.
Seeing themselves on the silver screen there. I was saying yesterday, Nick, none of them waved at us, and then the lady, the very last game last night, waved at us. So I thought,
There you go.
marvellous. Good again here from Mark. See by changing hand. 4 hands, a nice big swing down this side of the rink, but he's got to be perfect weight or it will just drift away.
2 red.
Mark Dawes is just going to have a look. You don't often see players come up after the second ball to have a look.
He's
But
probably just looking at
yeah.
where it could go, because he knows CY's got a good runner. To be fair, he's probably going to look to cover, and he's looking to cover where. Really.
Yeah, having a look where the angles are. However many questions you might ask the marker, sometimes you just want that picture in your head as to where the bowls are actually situated.
I don't think you can ask him where it's going to go.
Well, it's a cover bowl and counting.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was his position A where he wanted it. but
No, I would have more favoured to be out to the left-hand side of your screen as you're looking now, viewers. Anything there? Well, CY, what's
Okay.
your pace like?
Doesn't look quite enough.
2 red.
He's creating an opportunity now where he's got third, get the 2 bowls or the jack. Mark's definitely going wider this time.
Yeah, I mean, CY could be looking down into this area. We know he's got a big drive. He could split the two bowls away.
That's definitely what I'd be playing. He's got he wasn't far away, but like I said, the harder shot would be less weight, so quicker would be suiting me.
Played it with timing weight. This will go under.
Two shots, Mark Dawes.
Set score 8-0 after 4 ends.
8-0 after 4 ends. In the second set, Mark Dawes won the first set 12-4. CY in all sorts of problems now.
Mark's first two bowls have been great, and while they continue, he's covering third and fourth bowl. He's not building anything up, so it gives him an easy shot.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
Again, great opener from Mark. Feel for CY at the moment. It's a lonely place out there when you're playing singles, especially when somebody's playing so well against you.
Yeah, Mark's definitely settled into a nice groove.
Good ball again, just behind. Now CY.
Just a fraction short of Jack High.
Again, Mark not too worried now. He's holding 2 shots, so just looking for a bit of cover in case.
Yeah, first two bowls have put him in control.
3 rig.
Big drive. Run for cover again, Mark. Holding 3. He'll have looked at the angles, Nick. I think something just behind. Perhaps even covering the...
Yeah, there's a flick out to the bottom corner, which probably gets a couple if he can get it.
Yeah, definitely gone for the cover ball here.
And to be fair,
Great position.
he's got a decent runner, so you can see why he's covered down there.
Well, Mark Dawes holding 3 shots would take him to an 11-0 lead in this set. CY, you feel, has got to make contact with these bowls. Try and get some sort of result. This looks a very narrow line. If he's played it with enough weight, he's played for the trail on the jack.
It's not a bad effort down there, to be fair. It's a hard one.
3 shots, Mark Dawes.
Set score 11-0 after 5 ends.
Bit of pride at stake now as well for CY. Wants to get on this card. Well, it's been a great experience for him being here, and I know we're still waiting on the name for the
26.5 metres.
Hong Kong qualifier for the International Open in March, and if he was to take that space, he will certainly gain from this experience.
Oh, definitely. I think he's got all the shots. You can see why he's got through to this stage so far.
And you can see why Mark Dawes has managed to get himself in the top 16. Won a tour card 3 years ago, which got him into all 3 ranking events, and managed to get together enough points to get himself in the top 16. Not won a tournament yet, but you always feel like there's one just around the corner somewhere.
Oh, definitely. Mark's a quality player. I bet he's hoping he can take this rhythm into every game he's played, because he's rolling the first 2 virtually wherever he wants to.
Yeah, like we said before, he's got a bit of a break if he does win this game, and it would take somewhat of a miracle from CY for Mark Dawes not to win this game.
1 red.
His break in the singles would be till next Tuesday, but he does have the World Open pairs final next Monday, which is great practice for his singles, but he'll be wanting to lift that title.
I'm sure he will, and he's in red as well, so you know he's certainly he knows what bowls he's going to be playing with.
Always favoured of swingy bowl, Mark Dawes. Again, interesting choice of shot, Nick, because all 3 would possibly go with a runner.
2 red.
Just try to time it.
Yeah, I mean, timing shot is there. You got a good result if you got the split between the 2. But the hardest one to play. You've only got to be a bowl wide. It finishes out there. Bowl tight. Same the other way.
Well, it could all finish here if CY doesn't make a difference with his final bullet at this end. It's possibly made 3. Well, CY, this bowl really to stay in needs to get some
2
sort
red.
of result. It's only still 2 red, but that's enough for Mark Dawes. He'll be happy with that. Big drive. Not managed to get a shot out of
1
that.
shot, CY Wall.
Which means we go into the 7th end of this second set.
Set score 11-1 after 6 ends.
Yeah, it wasn't far away at all. Just about got down to get the edge. I'm sure he'd have liked to get it solid to get rid of a couple more, but
On the card, Nick, in what was really a start the car moment.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
decent starter this time from CY.
Counter 2 to keep us going in this game. Just underplayed this, I think. Line was pretty decent for what he wanted. That's
Not that Mark needed it, but
One
a
red.
pretty good correction.
yeah, really a killer ball from Mark there, because it's made both the CY's bowls short now, so it's hard to get them to come into play. Not short with this.
But it's a good effort, to be fair. Waits round about a good pace. If you'd have got either green or through the gap, you're doing something. Just a bowl high, that's all.
I think Mark intended that bowl to be there. I think he wanted
No,
it a
he's
little bit further.
short, he's a
Yeah.
yard short of where he wants to be, really. CY's not got much, only the similar sort of pace, and get the jack to your last.
Well, needs to count 2 at this end.
You might be going quicker.
Timeout called.
Yeah, going big. Might as well at this stage, because when this ball comes to rest, has to have a decent count. As Mark Dawes takes his place against David Gawley. Next Tuesday in the singles.
One shot.
Thanks
Second
so much
set,
for your
a
company,
match.
Nick.
Mark Dawes.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, well played, Mark. CY.
Yeah, thanks so much for your company this evening, folks. Join us again tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. Mark Royal versus Scott Walker. Thanks for your company.